Creativity is a curse. Thank you for watching. I guess I should elaborate. Tell me if this sounds familiar. One day, while you're doing your usual thing, you're hit with a realization that if you don't make this one thing, this thing that you've been thinking about making, then that one thing will never exist. Furthermore, the thought of that thing never existing begins to haunt you. Does that sound familiar? No? Well, to be fair, it is a minority of people that experience this. But if this does sound familiar, you're one of the unfortunate few. Creativity is oftentimes lauded as a virtue, a gift, or a boon that some people tend to have more of than others. I wouldn't disagree with this description at all, by the way. We all have enjoyed works of creativity, whether that be a piece of music, a book, a movie, or a painting. But as incredible as creativity is, it also comes with certain costs. Before we jump down the rabbit hole, though, let's discuss what creativity is. From a psychological perspective, creativity is heavily tied to trait openness. Trait openness encompasses a number of different things, though, not just creativity. It's also an indication of how strongly someone craves novelty, or how much someone likes surprises, or how much eccentricity someone appreciates in their stories. Trait openness is best described by its full name, openness to experience. Now, one particular quality of people who score high in trait openness is that they find themselves motivated to do things that other people simply aren't. While 80% of Americans express a desire to write a book, only about 1% of the population has the motivation to finish writing one. While almost everyone on the planet enjoys music, only a tiny fraction has played or performed a piece of music that they themselves have written for an audience. Now, of course, you don't need to write a book or compose a piece of music to be creative, but those who haven't written a book or composed music may experience just as much cost of creativity as those who have. For the sake of this video, I'll define creativity as the need to make things. This sounds like a sparse definition, sure, but I found that usually the need to make things follows the realization that one can make things. Regardless of the medium, the need is all the same. If you don't make said thing, it won't exist, and that horrifies you. Now, this may not sound so bad. You need to make something, why don't you just go and make it? Well, as any unestablished artist can explain, there is usually no reward for simply making something. Vincent van Gogh is one of the most well-known and respected artists in history. He dedicated massive swaths of his life to his art. Still to this day, we have over 2,000 pieces of art from Van Gogh left. And the combined value of all of that art is about $1.8 billion, and that's low-end estimates. Vincent van Gogh died at the young age of 37 years old. When he passed, he was revered by all as one of the geniuses of his time. This is the story I wish I could tell, but it isn't the truth. Vincent van Gogh died at the age of 37 from very unfortunate causes, while believing that his art would never have an impact. Franz Kafka was an author in the early 20th century, and his life story was very similar to Van Gogh's. In his life, he produced about 24 works, depending on how you count them, and he only published a fraction of these works. His writing career was riddled with self-doubt. His lack of confidence regarding his own work was so bad, in fact, he asked his friend Max Brod to burn his manuscripts after he died. Brod didn't, in fact, burn his manuscripts, but the success they went on to achieve would never be appreciated by their author. Now, I know what you're thinking. Van Gogh and Kafka had different struggles that had plagued them. It isn't fair to say that creativity is the thing that ruined their lives. Besides, plenty of other creative types find success and fulfillment from making the things they need to make. This is a legitimate counterpoint to what I'm trying to describe, too. And no other example exemplifies this better in my mind than one of the most prolific fantasy writers of our time, Brandon Sanderson.
Is there anyone in fantasy that can finish a book better than Brandon Sanderson?
Brandon Sanderson, the godfather of fantasy.
Can you find me something like Brandon Sanderson but a romance? Oh, what? It's just that you're asking me to find something on the level of King Brandon, like, no pressure.
To be a Brandon Sanderson fan, 2023 was the year of Sanderson. His secret projects reached over $41 million on Kickstarter.
You need to focus on making goals that you have control over. I did not have control over whether I became a famous novelist. I didn't even have much control over whether I got published or not. I realized I can control my journey, even if I can't always control my destination. The journey is what makes the destination worthwhile, in my opinion. I could say, I'm gonna get better with every novel. I could say, I am going to keep writing books, even if I fail at it time and time again. That I can do. But I couldn't, for instance, say, I want to win awards, because I don't have control over that. I want to write books that are worthy of awards, that I could do. To understand, art is the means by which we become what we want to be. The purpose of writing all those books in my earlier years wasn't to produce something I could sell. It was to turn me into someone who could create great art.
Whether it be Brandon Sanderson or any other creative type out there who make things for their own satisfaction, we have plenty of examples where creativity has enormous beneficial effects on the lives of the creatives. But looking at the benefits of creative pursuit is missing the point entirely. It's undeniable that sometimes, maybe even oftentimes, creativity has beneficial effects on the lives of creatives, but these benefits don't remove the cost of creativity. The true cost of creativity is that a creative individual has a need that other people simply don't have. A need to make things that may not be beneficial in any way whatsoever. A need to make things that might not have any market value at all. To improve at a skill set that isn't in demand. Trying to fulfill this need, that is, making things that you want to make, could be seen as a massive waste of time. But not making the things you want to make might feel even worse. It's a terrible cost that some people find themselves simply stuck with. Now, if you're a creative type, this no doubt sounds dark and depressing, I know. But there is another way to view creativity. All of the most impactful movies, books, paintings, and works of art that has ever moved you, that you've ever come across in your life, was produced by someone who struggled with this very cost. It was made by someone who wasted a lot of their time making things that they thought no one would ever appreciate. It was made by someone who chose to suffer, investing their life into making things they needed to make. This other way of viewing creativity, it doesn't ease the cost that creative types have to pay, but it does truly remind us of what a gift creativity is, not just to creatives, but also to everyone else.
The most important change made by an artistic endeavor is the change it makes in you. The most important emotions are the ones you feel when writing that story and holding the completed work.
Art works on the artist as much as the artist works on the art. Sometimes this is for better, sometimes this is for worse, and sometimes it's difficult to know which is the case. But for all those who are stuck with the hefty bill of creativity, we can view creative work as a chance at self-improvement. As big as the impact of consuming art can be, it seems that producing art can have just as much of an impact.